We came up with Programa one weekend. My partner had brought home some work. I think it was scheduling at the time. I'm not an interior designer or a manufacturer or a brand, so I was sort of looking at this from the outside in. And I was kind of stunned that the best tool that they had to schedule was Microsoft Excel. I mean, resizing images in Excel is painful, and when you've got to do hundreds of them, clearly it's a nightmare. So we really just spent the weekend researching it, and turns out, there was really nothing out there. Certainly nothing that was affordable. And, a couple of days later, we were off and running, and we'd started building Programa. And that was really only 7 or 8 months ago. So not being from the industry, not being a designer or a brand, I think really it's allowed me to focus on delivering solutions and solving problems. I don't have a set view of how things should be done. I really just listen to designers and listen to brands and really just try and solve their problems and remove the friction from their day-to-day workflow. And I think if I can keep doing that and connect up the designers to the brands and sort of facilitate that whole process, Programa should be successful. And I think, those fresh eyes have been quite useful. When we first started talking to designers and researching the market, and brands as well, I suppose, we spoke with designers from small firms, medium firms, and some really large firms. And what really struck me was just how much these guys have got going on. Small firms are managing 10 projects, doing everything themselves, doing the bookkeeping, doing everything, and then the big teams, they kind of might not be doing all of that, but they've got so much other collaboration and stakeholders and meetings, and just everyone was super busy. We walked into these offices and it was just a hum of activity. So really with Programa, what we're trying to do is make scheduling, mood boarding, collaboration, task management, finding products. We're just trying to make all of that way easier, because it doesn't really have to be this hard. And if we can do that and remove the friction, make it easier, we're really hoping that designers and their teams can save, 50% of their time to deliver each project. And if you can save 50% of your time, you can take on more work. Projects are less stressful, your business is more profitable. That's really what we're trying to get to. Look, the other side of the equation here is, designers, work very closely with brands, suppliers, manufacturers, and to really try and solve that scheduling question, we really needed to have a bank of products that integrate with the software. We can build a web clipper and you can copy and paste into the cloud, but essentially you're just copying and pasting into the cloud versus copying and pasting into Microsoft Excel. It's definitely less painful, but it's still painful. So in trying to solve the question around scheduling, we needed to really build a directory, and we needed to build a functional product directory that integrated with the designer's day-to-day workflow. And the more we started talking to brands, really what we learned is that brands are stuck with some pretty complicated and expensive marketing channels. If you're a big distributor and you've got 30 brands and you've got tens of thousands of products and you need to buy a magazine ad, really, how do you advertise 50,000 products in one ad? You can't. How do you do that even on Facebook ads? It's very difficult and it's expensive. So you do trade shows like Den Fair, which are great. And for those 3 days, it's a really great way to connect the industry. But what we're really trying to do is make, the value that's available through Den Fair, we really want to make that available, 7 days a week. And if we can do that, what it really does is give brands the ability to speak to that audience all day, every day, and to make quoting and scheduling more consistent, more predictable, easier to complete, and really also easier to keep track of. So by building the software for Programa, we're really trying to bring the audience to your brand and to your products in a really affordable way. And really, essentially what we're trying to do is make sure that when a designer is trying to solve a particular product in a particular project, they see the right product at the right time to solve that need. And that is the core difference between us and other marketing channels, is that we put the right product in front of the right person when they need it, rather than putting a brand ad in front of them every now and then, hoping that they connect the dots that that's what they should buy. So really what we're trying to do at Programa is to make it much easier for designers to run their projects, to make it easier for everyone to find products, and to give brands, really much more meaningful and cost-effective advertising solutions. And I think it's the way those three things come together that, really makes us really excited about Programma.